Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline Live in the BP TV studios. Appreciate you watching us. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Also Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and the surrounding area, city of Pittsburgh, and all the way from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford. We appreciate all the watching and viewing our show. We're up to 6,403 likes on the Facebook page. Thank you very much for watching the show and liking us when you get a chance. We appreciate that. It's been 3 years since we've been up on Facebook, so it means a lot. Now, Chip's not here. He's running late at work, so he can't make it to the show tonight. I got Smoking Jim Frazier, who missed last week. I think these guys are double teaming me. 1 week Chip just stays with me, and then the next week Smoking Jim stays with me. But we'll have a great show. We got a lot of sports to talk about, I'm sure. Smoking Jim's a Steelers scout. He got to watch a little bit of the game. I know he tapes all these games, so maybe he was on KDKA today too. So we'll talk about that. We start our show off with What's on Your Mind, and we're going to do that right now. Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
Here you go.
You got to see Levine. Hey, what's on my mind is the Pittsburgh Sportsline Player of the Week. And just to get us caught up, I believe this was the third week. And so I'll give you...
Yeah, we missed the second week.
And the first week, I believe. I don't think I did it the first week.
No, I don't think you did.
I'll get us caught up
All
on
right.
that. The first week, the Pittsburgh Sportsline Player of the Week was Cam Tarrant, quarterback that goes to a high school near Monroeville. He passed.
Penn Hills.
He passed for 530 yards and 6 touchdowns. In the second week, the Pittsburgh Sportsline Player of the Week was Cam Tarrant, who goes to a high school near Monroeville.
Penn Hills.
And he passed for 321 yards and 4 touchdowns. And this past week, he was not the Player of the Week, but he passed for 7 touchdowns and a little over 200 yards. But the Pittsburgh Sportsline Player of the Week this past week goes to none other than Beaver High School, Darius Wise, who I've been saying all along is the best talent I've seen since Tony Dorsett.
Yes, you have.
Aliquippa has been riding a 62-game regular season winning streak. Aliquippa played at home, and Beaver beat them 28-14. Al Levine, the talking machine, and Darius Wise scored all the touchdowns. So
all 4 of them.
All 4 touchdowns. So Darius Wise, Pittsburgh Sportsline Player of the Week, week 3. And that's what's on my mind.
Thanks, Smoking Jim. Hey, first I want to thank Olive Oil's Pizzeria for the pizza. Smoking Jim didn't get to try it yet, but it was great. And we got that steak hoagie. Mm-hmm. Give them a call, 412-831-1900. Right before I left, the owner of Olive Oil's Pizzeria, big fan of our show, Frank, was there working feverishly. They got orders all over the place. People are calling in, 412-831-1900. Or stop in at Hillcrest Shopping Center. They're right in the middle. You can't miss them. So got that out there. Then I wanted to do the Bethel Park Community Foundation. We got the little flyer here. Smoking Jim and Chip are working on some type of organization. We don't know what it is, but they're working on it. So maybe they'll get something. If you have a group that needs some money, they have grants available from $100 to $5,000, and we're paying them out. We got a meeting next Thursday, so I'm sure we'll get some of those presented. Go online at bpcf.org, get your application, put it in. Smoking Jim, come up with your idea. Maybe you can get some community kids involved in something you're doing. So it's a real great cause, and that's the Bethel Park Community Foundation. Check it out. And this weekend, they have the $5 million challenge at the Meadows.
Wow.
So check it out. They were 2 great guests, Bob and Dave. So they're going to have some fun this weekend, the 17th, 18th, and 19th. And they're shooting for that $5 million hole-in-one. So it's a great contest, benefits local organizations and charities. They'll raise some nice money there, and it's at the Valley Brook Country Club. So check it out. I'm sure they filled up with all the teams. Might be too late, but just wanted to present it. They'll be doing a lot of great things there. And they got the MMA. They got free tickets to the MMA for the people that go to the $5 million challenge. Smoking Jim and I will be there.
All right.
So we'll see you out there, guys. So I don't know what else I got here. Let me see. All right. We got Stay Joey Strong. We always end the show with that. This is a little brochure on it. The Joey Favis Childhood Cancer Foundation. Donate something, $1, anything. Help out. They got a 5K on Sunday at the high school. So that's running this weekend. So we're trying to get some cameras together for that. We'll see you there. And Stay Joey Strong. We'll end the show with that too. Now, what's on my mind is I'm still disgusted with the Buccos. Can't believe the losses and what's going on. Garrett Cole gave up 5 runs. They took him out of the game. They shouldn't have even brought him back in. His elbow's still in bad shape, so he's done for the season. That's it. They had to shut him down. It's been a rough year for him. Just didn't work out, just like a lot of the other players and pitchers that we've seen coming and going. And ever since they got rid of Melanson, I think the team just realized they don't really think we have a chance, and they're playing that way. So that's how I see it. When I'm watching the games, I watch a lot of them, and it's just frustrating. They got the players to do it. They got some hitting, and they're getting on base. They just can't get these runs in there, and they're giving up chunks of runs, 10, 12 runs a game. So it's very frustrating. They still have a team. We'll just keep rooting for the Buccos and see what happens here. Maybe they can turn it around and start winning some games. That's all they need to do in Philadelphia tonight. So we'll see what happens. And now we go to our segments. We got Chip. He's not here, so he can't do his segment of Chip's Trivia Time. But we got Smoking Jim Frazier with Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And I don't think we can pull a close-up up, but I got the Smoking Jim's.
Hold it up towards that camera there. He'll see what
there you go. Got the Smoking Jim.
We got the nice
Nifty
glare
50.
on there.
Yeah, we got all kind of stuff. But
looks good.
But I just wanted to go over this list for my fiction and fact. Not all of it, but
maybe 53 of them.
yeah. I do. It is a little chubby this year, but just wanted to go over some of the predictions that I made for the class winners. One, first of all, this list came out at the beginning of the season, and I
saw it.
And the headline that I had in the paper was Wise, Wade, and Model T Ford, most explosive players since Tony Dorsett. And as you've seen, there is Wise was he was
last week's Player of the Week.
Last week's Player of the Week. Aliquippa should have read this article, but I believe that Central Catholic will win the 6A title.
Okay.
I believe that 4A will go to South Fayette. And also, I'm just going to go over a few of the 6As, the top 5.
This is your segment, man. Just do what you think you should do.
Central Catholic, Pine Ridgeland come in second, North Allegheny, Mount Lebanon, I believe Bethel Park comes in 5th place. They're a good team this year. Class 4A would be South Fayette, Thomas Jefferson, Newcastle, Ringgold, who has an outstanding quarterback this year, and Bell
What's his
Vernon.
name?
He's a white guy, tall white guy. And
there he goes again, folks.
In Class
I'm watching you.
Class AAA. I have Beaver Falls winning that class. Aliquippa coming in second. Beaver, who looks like they can beat both of them this year, third. Central Valley, now that's 4 teams in the top 4 from the Beaver Valley. And Keystone Oaks.
My alma mater.
Has a really good
buddy.
team. And Mr. Butler, Joe Butler, said Keystone Oaks has a football tradition. So Class AA is Steel Valley, Neshannock, North Catholic, Washington, PA, and Frazier High School's loaded this year.
Where are they?
Adam Frazier. Adam Frazier.
He's on the
board.
Buccos. You're mixing all these names just because they got Frazier.
In Class A, Clairton, Jeanette, Bishop Canavan, Greensburg Central Catholic, Union, and I got City League, Westinghouse winning it this year. But also on the 7th, I believe, of October, it will be Aliquippa Clairton game. Tickets are already sold out. Oh, I forgot to mention 5A. 5th place, McKeesport. 4th place, I'll be at the game on Friday, Penn Trafford. They got John Gay's son playing out there. And then West Allegheny, I think, will come in 3rd. Woodland Hills come in 2nd. And Gateway, which won 63-0. Did I tell you they won 63-0 this past
You forgot.
Friday? I think
that's 2 in a row now after they lost the first game that didn't matter.
And as I finish up the segment, I'll go from 10 down to 1 as far as the best players in the WPIL, in my opinion. We got R.J. Hart from Plum, only a sophomore, friend of the show.
Been a guest on the show.
Yeah, 6'3", 200 pounds. Got C.J. Thorpe from Central Catholic, 6'4", 310. A senior, already decided to go to Penn State.
Wow.
Penn State lost this weekend. A guy that I loved him in the spring because he's a white guy outrunning all the brothers. But I thought he was a senior last year, but he was only a junior from Armstrong High School, which is a high school that converged a few high schools together. Only in their second year. Zane Dudak, 5'10", 190 pounds, 4'3", 40 speed. Ran for 301 yards this past weekend against McKeesport. Came very close to being nominated as Player of the Week. Frank Antonuno from Neshannock already signed with Robert Morris to play linebacker, great quarterback, 6'2", 235. Donovan Jeter, probably the fast Freddie Latham of high school football.
Fast Freddie Latham.
Yeah, accused of being a little lazy at times. Not playing up to his potential. Probably going to Pitt, but he's going to take all his visits. He's probably going to go to visit 5 different schools. But he's 6'6", 260 pounds now. He came in this year about 20 pounds lighter, but doesn't always play each and every play. But talent-wise, he has to be in the top 5. Number 4 is Lamont Wade, 5'9", 190 pounds from Clairton. I love about him, he could probably play anywhere in the country, running back, but he wants to go defensive back in college. Paris Model T Ford, friend of the show, 6'2", 190 pounds, Steel Valley. I think Steel Valley will win the championship. It's his 3rd high school in 4 years that he attended. Never been ineligible.
Great point.
Already gave a verbal to Pitt. Quarterback that I love, Phil Jerkovich from Pine Ridgeland, already gave a verbal to Notre Dame, only a junior, 6'5", 200 pounds. I took a lot of heat up until last week for my number 1 pick, Darius Wise, 5'11", 170 from Beaver. Nobody's ever heard of him but Al Levine, the Talking Machine, and myself. He's undecided because he hadn't had any scholarship offer except for one to BYU, and that was for basketball. So I'm sure the football scholarships will start to pour in shortly. And that's the fiction and facts from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Thank you, Smoking Jim. Very informative. A lot of facts.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. That was very good. My segment's on location. We had a great time on location at Atria's PNC Park. We'll be back again there October 10th. So if you're in the area, come on out to Atria's PNC Park, 103 Federal Street. What a great location. Had some great shows. We had great guests there last night. We had a young lady that's a professional bodybuilder, Jeanette Smith. So it was nice to have her on. She made her debut. We also had Amante Eberhardt, the boxer, the magician. He come back after his big win, was glad to be on the show and do a Talking Machine interview. So and we snuck Jimmy Savetic in for a few good words. He hasn't been allowed to talk too much because he likes to swear, but he had it all in good, not very colorful, but he was to the point and explaining about what they're doing. He's trying to make a family people's champion out of the magician. And the end of the fight, and it was at the Meadows a few weeks back, the crowd was just ecstatic with him, and he threw a knockout punch to a guy that was never knocked out or knocked down. So
Wow.
what a fight there. He's moving up with some of these tougher fighters, and he's prepared for it. He's in shape right now to fight for October. He looks like he could fight tonight. So it was nice to have him on. Then we had Joe Butler, who I met at the Galleria, who said, hey, I know the talking machine. I refereed with your dad and
Wow.
hired your dad as a referee when I coached. He was on the show last night talking about sports and his business for 40 years and scouting. So pretty interesting stuff that he has, and that'll be up shortly. If not, Dave Cable will have it up tomorrow, so I'll post that. And it was just, we ended up with Bob Middleman, Bob Jeffrey on Facebook. He's just a big Pitt fan, huge Pitt fan, Bucco fan. You know, used to be on the radio with called The Bullpen, talking about, you know, baseball. So he's disappointed with the baseball season with what's happened here. So we had a good interview there with him. So that was our on location at Atria's PNC Park. We're looking to go back again. And our next on location will be at Hollywood Lane, October 3rd. Monday, October 3rd, we'll be at Hollywood Lanes for a show there. So come on out and check us out in the public there when we film. And thanks to BPTV for letting us venture out. Cameraman Jeff was doing a great job. Appreciate that. Tonight we got Devin Shea in the control room on the cameras. Got Ethan helping him out, so we're in good hands. We're going to move on and talk some other subjects as we get here, but Smokin' Jim was on KDKA with Chris Moore, who's normally not on from 1 to 2. He was filling in for a guy, and they were doing NFL talk, which it was mostly about Kaepernick here and different things there, and they had callers. And I was listening to the show. I found it very hard to listen to my man. He gave me a couple shout outs. I appreciate it. I didn't call in because I didn't even know what to say with all the people calling in with their opinions. They didn't talk much football. It shocked me. How do you do it, buddy?
Well, yeah, I just got the call from Mr. Moore the night before, right before our show, right before I was coming into our show, and asked me to come on, and I guess it was Pentek's show,
Yeah.
but he was filling in for it. So we had some callers who are not that familiar with sports or with myself, so
They didn't know who the heck you were.
we had some strong opinions from the callers, but it's always nice to go on there. And one of the hot button subjects, which Chris Moore will push a hot button subject, is Colin Kaepernick, whether he should, is he doing a disservice to the national anthem by not standing? He's taken one knee. He has his reasons for that, and it's kind of divided the sports community.
He's trying to create a dialogue, and he seems to have done it. So.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's donating his money. He's donating $1 million. So love him or hate him, he's a man of his word right now.
And we're talking about it too. So it's
he got us.
Yeah, he got us, and he's still doing it, and I think he's going to do it the rest of the year, at least. So yeah, so
very interesting. And you had a couple nice callers at the end.
Yeah.
Called and pumped you up at the end.
Yeah.
So that was good too.
Yeah.
I was glad I heard that.
Yeah, we had some friends of the show that called, and I appreciate that. And we had a friend of the show, Mike Murray, that called before all the hot callers called in. So it's always good to hear from Mike, calling always from West Virginia. Let's do it out there. So thanks again to Hall of Fame Dan Bogan for posting it on Facebook. That's something I didn't do.
He posted it up there.
Yeah,
tagged me.
Yeah.
I already was listening.
He must. I don't even know how he knew about the show. Maybe they were promoting it on KDKA. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Sometimes you miss some of this stuff. But you were on air at KDKA,
So it's
the
always
busiest man in media in Pittsburgh.
fun. Thanks, Al.
He's got his own shows, other shows. I can't keep track of you.
Well, Mr. Moore got on me. Him and his wife enjoys watching some of the shows that we do on Channel 21. And he was upset because him and his wife was watching. He said, "You didn't say anything." He called her Big Leg Jody. He says, "You let Big Leg Jody do all the talking."
Whoa!
She was talking about her daughters being a cheerleader, but she had a guest, Jody Velasquez, now has her own show.
What's it called?
The Jody Velasquez Show, and
Produced by Smoking Jim Frazier.
yeah, I'm the producer, and I can just kind of sit back because she does such a good job interviewing the guests that she brings on, and so I kind of like sit back. So a lot of people that's used to seeing me on 21's not used to that.
A quiet
They want
Smoking
me to
Jim.
say a little something, so maybe in the future I might say a little something here or there.
You can't just sit there every show.
Yeah, so sometimes the camera gets me playing with my phone or whatever, but I'm listening to the interview. She does a good job with it, and I think that she's getting her own YouTube channel. And she's a little frustrated because her shows usually take about 3 months before they get televised. So
Oh, really?
it's hard to keep up with the. I think the show that Mr. Moore watched with Jody was a No, it was a guy that would do the Ninja stuff.
Oh,
He was
really?
on one of those. Yeah, he's an acrobatic guy that does all that kind of stuff. So. Yeah, that's the show. That's right. That's about 3-4 months ago.
Might have been in
Just
April.
coming out now. Yeah, just coming out.
Might have been
now,
your
so-
April show or May.
Yeah.
Well, we do this show every week. We appreciate all the thousands of people watching us and your input. Thanks for that. And Jody's a Hall of Famer, Pittsburgh
Yes, she is.
Sportsline Hall of Famer, and a frequent guest on the show.
Big Leg Jody, according to Mr. Moore.
I can't wait to see her on that one. Very interesting. And then we got MMA at the Meadows on Saturday night.
Looking forward to it.
Always a nice event there.
You got me hooked on it. Who's the headliners this week?
I don't know. I didn't get to see
The
that.
Hawkman, I think, is going to be
Might be
on.
the
I heard
Hawk.
The commercial, the Hawkman's going to be there, so looking forward to it.
Justin Steve.
Yeah, and they always
Been a guest on our show many times.
and they always got the best ring car girls around. So
Yeah.
friends of ours.
Yeah, definitely.
We may have to hit the after party this time, Al. You usually do it. I may have to.
I'm
stick
following your lead.
around. Okay.
We'll see. We're excited about the great night of fights with MMA. They usually put on a great event. So
How about Mad Dog? Is he fighting? I don't know. If he,
I don't know. I
that'd
think
be
he
great.
might.
That'd be
Yeah.
great if he does.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see the card. I'll have to get some information on it.
Well, last time I don't think his opponent showed up, right?
No.
Yeah, so that was same way with the Lumberjack. His opponents
Yeah.
didn't show up.
Yeah, a
either,
lot of
so.
disappointment with the no-shows. Or
I don't
the-
think Lumberjack will be there because he's getting married this weekend, but maybe he might go.
I don't think he'll be there.
Okay.
He may not be there. You have to text him. Maybe he'll text you or something. I don't know how you do it. All right, let's talk some Steelers here. All right. We couldn't see a whole lot of the Steeler game because we were doing our show. Did you see any of it?
Yeah, I probably watched the first half on tape this morning before I went to KDKA, just in case they asked me something about it. And
Yeah.
and I was shocked. I had Washington winning.
I didn't even want to bring that up. That's the
Yeah.
last thing you told me before I bucked out of there.
I mean, the Steelers are really amazing, man, because this is a team that Ben and Antonio only played one series the whole preseason.
No, they had two.
Two
They scored
series?
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns the whole preseason, and to be able to, I thought they would come out flat. I thought it would take them a game or two to get back into the flow, but
Well, they did come out flat.
yeah, they came out
Yeah.
flat. It only took them about 5 minutes man, to get in the flow,
Yeah.
and then when the referees reversed the fumble call, that Antonio
Changed
Brown
the whole complexion.
Yeah, it sure did in more ways than one. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers with the Big Ben, and I think Ben's just a great quarterback, maybe the greatest of all time. But And I think Antonio can get to 2,000 yards. No receiver's ever done that. But when you throw the football, three things can happen and two are bad: incompletions or interceptions. And so you're going to have a bad game offensively. Hopefully it won't come in the playoffs, but the defense is going to have to step up. And Kirk Cousins threw the ball over 40 times last week, and there was no sacks in the game. So the defense is going to definitely have to improve. You got to put pressure on quarterback.
Definitely. Well, they need that, and at least they held them to 16 points.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
That is good.
That's a good way to start the season. Now they'll be going to Cincinnati they'll be
think
coming here to
yeah.
Pittsburgh. Cincinnati's coming to Pittsburgh. Everybody's talking about Cincinnati, even all the ones predicting the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl. They're saying Cincinnati will beat us twice this year.
Wow.
Sports Illustrated and some of those guys.
Well, Cincinnati, the Steelers are catching them at a good time since he will be without Burfict. The Steeler killer seems to put all our great players out of the game.
Yeah.
So he won't be there, but their team captain will be there, Adam Pac-Man Jones. I'm surprised he got voted captain. But the Cincinnati Bengals, you can't help but to cheer for him a little bit because of Tyler Boyd.
Well, you do because you love him.
Yeah,
we can't get you away from that. It's ridiculous.
So, you want the Steelers to win, but you want Tyler Boyd to do well. And but the Cincinnati are losing a few good coaches. Zimmerman, they lost a year ago as a defensive coordinator. He's the head coach of Minnesota. And now they lost Hugh Jackson, their offensive coordinator, to Cleveland. And but the Red Rifle is just unbelievable. You got Green, that's a great A.J. Green, that's a great wide receiver. Got Eifert, is a great tight end. He was out last week. He should be back this week. So, and then you got Tyler Boyd, that's uncoverable. So it should be an interesting game, high-scoring game. But we got to put some pressure on the Red Rifle, or he'll pick you apart. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. Of course, I'm the only one that thinks that.
I know. Shocking. I know you'll be watching for Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, I'll be cheering for him. Good number 83. I think that's the number Louis Lips wore.
Yeah.
So you can win Rookie of the Year with 83 on your back.
You think? Wow. You're full of knowledge here. I think he was just on what show was that on? Steel City Sports World?
Yeah.
I think you got some inside info from number 83.
There you go. From Louis
What's he
Lips.
think of the new 83 with Cincinnati, or you didn't even ask that?
No, we didn't really get around that. He was, matter of fact, Monday was his golf outing. He raises money for sickle cell anemia, which afflicts the black community. And so I know Claudio and Luther was going out to film it. And I had other plans. PNC Park,
we couldn't make it.
On Mondays, man, we're dedicated to what we do on Mondays. But
Pittsburgh Sportsline on location.
Yeah, I mean, had we not had a show, I might have had to come up with a different excuse. But
I'm sure you would have been busy.
Yeah, but that'd have been nice to go out there and support Louis. His wife is beautiful. His second wife. At least his second or third. I know his first wife was
Why don't we
Miss
just say
Mississippi.
his wife?
Yeah, his wife. But we got to say his first wife when he played for the Steelers. She was Miss Mississippi, beautiful girl. And Louis Lips grew up in New Orleans, so he talked about a little bit about the misappropriation of funds when it comes to New Orleans. And Louis not necessarily a homer. He had some things.
He talked bad about his hometown.
Yeah, he had some critical things to say about the Steelers after the show. And
which aren't going to get mentioned.
Yeah, so off the record stuff. But
and you can keep a secret, folks. You're getting to witness it right now. Thanks for the tease. I don't know how you do it, buddy.
But his wife now, a beautiful young lady, and they seem to be very, very happy. And
how did you find all that out?
He made Pittsburgh part of his community, so That's great. He still gets back down New Orleans every once in a while. He said the city.
Well, he lives here, doesn't he?
Yeah, he lives here,
Has
but
a
he
home?
goes back here a couple times a year, and old Hot Lips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Louis was something. Everybody hears the Heath and the Bruner, but it all started with
Louis. Yeah.
and the fans just kept it going. But he said if he played today with the way the rules are, he'd be 100 reception a year guy.
Wow.
So I'll probably do a story on Louis Lips. Where are they now?
I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah.
You gave us a little tease there, my friend.
I'll probably knock the Penguins and the Pirates off the front page of the sports.
I don't think they've been on the Courier. I don't think the Penguins have ever been in the Courier.
I think they.
I don't notice, and they've won. They've won the Stanley Cup. I don't think that's ever been mentioned in the Courier. The new Pittsburgh Courier, who you write for.
We don't have that much room on the sports page, but maybe one day we will mention them. Maybe if they went back-to-back cups, we'd have something there.
It could be possible. No Penguin coach has ever done that. They've won one and then been done.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought 90, not 91, 92. No.
Different coach.
Okay, different coach. No, same coach. Okay, I got you.
Different coach.
They say I know Yager had done that.
Yeah, well, that's your favorite player.
Yes, it is.
Well, what do you predict for the Steelers game? High scoring? Who's going to win it?
Pittsburgh should win the game. They're at home. They impressed me this past week. I would not have thought they could beat Cincinnati this early in the season. Missing the guys are missing Le'Veon Bell, Martavius Bryant. Wheaton's out. Bud Dupree. Looks like your boys at the doctors right now, and as we speak, is Shazier.
Is he?
Knee injury, so hopefully that won't stop him. And again, like we talked about before, Al Levine, the talking machine, put Shazier right outside linebacker. He's not built for the middle. He has too many injuries.
Yeah.
Right outside linebacker.
I don't think it's going to happen.
It won't happen. He's such a great athlete, and they can do so many things with him in the middle, but he's not physically able to stay healthy.
And he's fast.
In the middle, yeah. Is he fast? And he's a hitter. Put him at right outside linebacker, be a nightmare for the left tackle, get you a couple of sacks a game, break the NFL sack record. And
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's not.
That's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Well, we didn't have predictions there last week. We didn't get that in. But I know you predicted the Steelers were going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl and losing it to Arizona and Bruce Arians, who will get a bit of revenge for being unjustifiably
We got to get through the season first.
Yeah.
I think they just lost one.
But we were making our predictions.
Right. I'm predicting 12-4.
12-4. I'll just say, I may piggyback on that. I'll say 11-5.
Okay.
11-5.
Well, we're on the record there,
Yes.
even though they played one.
Yeah.
We bend the rules a little bit. Thanks for watching us. We appreciate it. You're getting to hear it here. Chief, go get your dessert now. What else do you want to talk about, buddy?
Well, I think we'd be kind of remiss if we don't talk about Pitt a little bit. Penn State, what a game.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, what a
First
game.
time in 16 years?
Wow, and it lived up to every bit of the hype. I think Pitt wanted it a little bit more. I think as the game went on, Penn State started to turn it up a little bit, but Pitt
They
came
changed
out.
some things in the second half and were able to shut Pitt down a little bit.
Yeah. And so it's going to be fun next year at Happy Valley. But two really good running backs, James Conner and
Nice
Barkley.
game he had.
Yeah, and Barkley from Penn State. Woodland Hills had a kid go to Penn State, and I told him in the spring, don't go. Miles Sanders, he didn't get in the last 2 weeks.
Really?
Barkley never comes out of the game. He's only a sophomore.
Right.
And so maybe he picked the wrong school, especially if he has to sit the bench 3 years. Now, he was MVP of the Big 33 game. He could have went other places and played, but he fell in love with Penn State, so we'll see what happens. But
Well, it's a great school.
yeah, it's a great school.
He just may not play.
Yeah, and he has the talent to play, but when you can't go. You
Not everybody listens to you, Smith.
Yeah, which is
you put it out there, and sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
we get upset at you, but you're right on some of this stuff.
And he had a good training camp, and everybody thought he'd be spelling Barkley, but Barkley doesn't come out of the game, and he's in great shape, and he broke all their lifting records. He's the fastest on the team, strongest on the team, and he just doesn't come out of the game. So
those things happen.
Yeah.
And the Penn State quarterback, Trace, was only his second game he started in.
Yeah, McSorley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know the McSorley name.
The name.
Yeah.
I like the name. Yeah.
He played pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure did.
It was an exciting game.
Very exciting game. Pitt got some outstanding receivers. It was fun. It was
and
fun.
Running backs.
Running backs.
They got running backs everywhere.
Ton of running backs.
Ollison, Connor.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
So it was exciting. I was happy for Pitt, although I was pulling for Penn State to throw the touchdown late in the game. Terry Smith is an assistant head coach of Penn State, and he's a local guy.
Oh, get on.
And so
where'd he coach at?
He coached at Gateway, played at Gateway, so we was cheering there. But he's never had much success at Heinz Field, and that continues.
Sounds like a curse to me. Yeah. He might be cursed. Yeah. He might have to check into that.
That's it.
Speaking of your curse, any more research on the curse of the Steelers? Why they didn't win for the first 40 years?
Well, I was going to go and talk about Byron Whizzer White this week. Another great one that was part of the curse. Only played 3 years in the NFL. I think he was two-time league MVP, and now he's a big. They got an award named after him. He's a big wig in the. Is he a judge or is he in the
Supreme Court?
Yeah,
that's sort of big. That's pretty big. It's a little bigger in sports. Especially back in the day when they weren't making that much.
Yeah, so he left to pursue that, and he did a great job. So,
do you think that's part of the curse?
Well, had he stayed,
just lay it out.
Had he stayed, who knows? He was a great player for 3 years. Plus, after his first year, the next 2 years was interrupted by the war. So he served in the war, and he came back and made another Pro Bowl. But who knows how good the Steelers could have been behind the Wizard.
Yeah, it wasn't a curse, though. It just wasn't a curse. You got to interview some people about Art Rooney Sr. and what he was doing.
Well, we were on the north side this past week for the boxing.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a few calls about that, but I'll tell you about that after the show.
Okay, good.
But that was a great fight at the Priory.
Yeah, Jack Mook, Steel City Boxing Gym, hosted the event. Thanks again, Jack. We appreciate that. Great night of fights, 10 great fights. The crowd ended up standing room only. Mm-hmm. Just unbelievable.
On a Friday night, a Football Friday.
Yeah, so they did it again. Priory Hotel, great location, great host.
Great commissioner.
Yeah. Rick Steigerwald.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was there. He's a north side guy. He actually refereed. He can referee amateur bouts, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, didn't you know that? Just ask me about the rules. So thanks, Rick. We appreciate that.
Well, there's some dispute about the rules, but and the interpretation thereof. But Mike Manna did a good job as a ring announcer.
Yeah, he did. Very good. Dressed up in a suit, got
That's
a nice haircut.
Black barber.
Yeah, he told us.
Mm-hmm.
You don't miss that stuff for sure.
maybe it was Wade Lipscomb. Huh?
I don't think. He didn't mention his name. No, we just saw great fights there from all the way from Jesse Mook. Lost the first fight, but he was throwing some left hooks that were unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So, and it ended with the main event with Josh.
Yes,
Josh Mook. So he ended up losing also in a tight fight.
Who was the fighter of the night?
Danny Buckley.
My favorite.
One of our favorites, friend of the show, been a guest on the show.
Yeah.
He's in shape like you cannot believe.
That is true.
He's throwing some great punches and No quitting that guy.
I'm glad he doesn't have to go to class at Slippery Rock. He can just train.
Get out. When did that happen?
I don't think anybody. I think you just pretty much I think they only have a phys ed major at Slippery Rock, don't they? They got something other than that?
Yeah, they do.
Park and recreation and
They have other degrees. Yeah, plenty of them, my friend.
Okay. Maybe
must have
things have
missed
changed.
You
Maybe
mu-
things changed over the years.
They changed when you looked at it. Look what you did at, what school was that, Cal U?
General studies, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Cal U, congratulations. I was just in a paper. Cal U has five players that made the active rosters of NFL teams. So that is pretty good for a smaller school, you know. I don't know if West Virginia have 5 active players.
You got to research this.
In the NFL,
because you're
right
throwing
now.
out all these facts.
Yeah, so that's pretty good for. Now KLU does get a lot of Division I transfers, and so they get a second chance at it, and so evidently they're making the most of it.
Yeah, sounds promising here.
So
You have to stop back this year.
Yeah, I think I will.
You did say it to a couple of your friends.
Yeah.
They'll be there.
Yeah. I think I will. I don't know if I'll make the homecoming game this year, but maybe the spring game.
When's the
next
homecoming
year.
game? It might
I
just be
think it's
coming
in
up.
October. I think it's in October.
Maybe you can fit that in your busy schedule,
Yeah, I
man.
seem to miss it. I don't think I've been back since my playing days, but I'm
When
looking
were
forward-
those playing days?
Although you and I went and we got lost, they were changed a little bit.
Wow.
They did some construction since I was
It's still
there.
in the same location.
Couldn't find it for all the buildings.
Wow, we're close.
What's that, Convocational Center or whatever? Right?
I don't know
Wasn't
what
there.
it is. I was trying to ignore it. We just couldn't get in for the boxing that
Yeah,
night.
we
so-
almost got in.
Yeah, we were close.
Got to the window, ticket window.
Yeah, just couldn't get anybody in charge. That happens there. Well, that's what happens out there. I talked a little bit about the Buccos. I know you were predicting that World Series, but it's not looking very good.
Well, I
The
think
Cubs
you're right.
keep winning. Just unbelievable what they're doing.
You said no the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't jump on the bandwagon. I said they got a nice team and players. They got to win. Maybe they'll do something, but these injuries really took it out of them.
Yeah.
And Kutch is having a terrible year for
Still?
whatever reason.
Still.
Oh, it never stopped. You listen on the radio. He's still around 250s hitting. That happens. He's like a 300 hitter.
Yeah.
All the great ones have a bad year, even though you don't recognize it.
Yeah. Well, you consider him a great one?
He's a very good player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you said great ones. I was wondering.
Well, I was just talking Hall of Famers. I'll try to educate you since you're new to baseball, even though you played it as a kid and whatever else.
Stickball.
7 out of 10 times they fail, and they're in the Hall of Fame. Can you imagine that?
Well,
That happens. The batting average is 300.
Well-
They're in the Hall of Fame.
a lot of them maybe don't hit 300 at the plate, but they're hitting their averages a lot better in the field. And their batting average is a lot better as far as leadership and stealing bases. And Kutch, that's where he's, even with a bad season, the guys like the Willie Mays and the Barry Bonds and the Bobby Bonds and the Hank Aaron's, they did well in the field. They did well stealing bases. They did well in the clubhouse. And I think that's where Clutch is failing. Puts me in mind a little bit of RG3, who got
Really?
knocked out this weekend, yeah. So,
There, you went to Cleveland now.
yeah. And he's probably out for his career now.
No, injured reserve for
He'll
8
never,
weeks.
He'll never play again.
No,
They're done.
he only broke a little bone.
Yeah, but this was his opportunity. He couldn't even get through the first game. Never learned how to slide. Took unnecessary hit. You can't depend on that.
Yeah.
Can't depend on that guy.
Sorry, we're jumping around, folks, but we got me and Smoking Jim covering many topics. Just try to follow with us. Yeah, well, Cleveland has that curse on them.
Yeah, that's
Their
true.
team was stolen from them.
Yeah,
Then they got a team back that's been crap.
right.
And now they change coaches almost every year. They draft high picks and they don't work out.
Well, can we count Baltimore's Super Bowls for Cleveland?
No,
No.
because they left town. They went to Baltimore.
Same
But-
team.
Well, why did they give him that team back?
That's a good point.
I've
They weren't-
argued that before.
They wouldn't let them take the names either, Brown, so they had to leave that behind.
Yeah. And they held a spot for him to get a new team.
Mm.
And this is what they have. Who made the 44-yard catch?
For Cleveland?
Yeah.
Terrell Pryor. Who threw it? Was that RG3 or
Yeah.
somebody else? See,
RG3.
he's a good long ball
I was
thrower.
surprised you didn't say that.
I know he had 3 catches for 68 yards, but I didn't
He had
know.
a 44-yard catch.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. He had big time catches all through preseason. Proud of him.
Yeah.
Proud of him. So,
Well, we'll see what he does now. Who's going to throw it to
not
him?
the biggest tipper
No.
when he gets his
Well,
nails done.
That's
Manicure.
private there. We're not.
We had a girl come to the show that broke that news that was doing his.
Yeah. We heard
Yeah.
that he got his tattoos and
Yeah.
cars.
He tapped that. He tips for that.
Yeah. He got those. He knows how to work it.
Yeah. Yeah. So happy for him. Everybody deserves to make some millions in life.
Really?
Yeah. When you're that talented.
Oh, okay. Well, now he's a receiver, not a quarterback.
Yeah. So I think his salary is right around $750,000 right now. So you can live good in Jeanette on that.
He's not living in Jeanette. Smoking Jim. We're getting some of that fiction coming back. Can't believe it. It's unbelievable here.
You can buy you a nice house in Jeanette for $750,000 or less.
I don't think he's spending that much. We might have a house up there in
You
Jeanette.
can buy the high school for less than that. Yeah.
Wow. Smoking Jim. Very negative tonight. I don't know what happened
Just
to
being
you.
honest. I go to Eaton Park in Jeanette sometimes.
Do you? When you're traveling through.
Yeah, right on Route 30, man.
What do you stop and get?
Still open. I always get the same thing.
What do you get?
Cup of coffee.
You're the last of the big spenders that's traveling through Jeanette. Unbelievable. How could that happen? I don't know what's going on there with that, Smoking Jim.
But high school football season now, Levine, the talking machine. I tell you what, I'm very excited this year about all the talent that's still coming
Yeah, but
through
they
the
went to
WKL.
6 divisions now.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't
watered
it take
down.
a little bit away?
Yeah, it's watered down a little bit, but I tell you what, if Pitt can just get some of the players from Western Pennsylvania to stick around, man, that would do so much for the program. And I really believe that they need a recruiter that can sell these kids locally. I mean, you can't stop a Notre Dame from coming in or Alabama from coming in every once in a while, but you shouldn't be losing these quality kids to Toledo and Akron and
Right.
Marshall and stuff like that because
West Virginia.
West Virginia's another one that, and you shouldn't lose anybody to West Virginia because they play in a conference that's not suitable for their parents to go see. They're playing all their games
Across
in
the
Texas
country,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah, so
Good point, Smoking Jim.
that should be some of the things that Pitt's looking at, and there's just so much talent. This is one of the big this group, this nifty
year's
50.
strong.
Yeah, and it took everything I had just to keep it at 50. I probably left.
I believe it. I thought it might have been 62.
Yeah, I left some kids. I left some kids off the list that's rated in other people's top 10 lists,
Really?
and that's how deep it is. So, Jermaine Stevens' son plays for Central. I didn't put him on the list because I thought maybe he had a little bit too much of his dad's work ethic.
Okay.
366 pounds, which I think is a little heavier than that. But you're not moving him off the ball when you don't want to be
Really?
moved off the ball. But he's a guy that probably is a Division I player on size alone.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just
We'll
like
have to
his
keep
daddy.
an eye out.
Just like his daddy.
There you go.
Nobody can deny that.
Yeah.
But so some outstanding some outstanding talent. We're going to bring all that talent to the Pittsburgh Sports Line show.
Are we?
We're going to start getting some high school teams in, and we're really excited about that. All sports, volleyball, soccer. It's a lot of great sports, and
which sports are you watching though? All of them.
You know what? I've been really getting into high school ball, so I'm watching field hockey. Is that yeah? They can play women's field hockey. Been watching that. Soccer.
You always like the women's sports. I don't
well, you know
what's
what? I
going
believe
on.
in
You're a big
empowering
basketball.
women.
You're a big ladies basketball guy in high school.
You know, the thing about me is I really think that women's been getting a raw deal in basketball. I know my dad loves the women's game, but they get no recognition on the national shows, radio shows.
We
they
put
don't
them on
talk
our
about
TV show.
Yeah, that's it.
They win.
Monique McCoy comes
Yeah.
on. Bethel Park's girls have been on the show, and they deserve
Burke.
recognition. Yeah, and they're great players, great teams, and nobody talks about the WNBA. When's the last time you heard any talk show talk about the
You just said
WNBA
it.
champions? So
You.
so I like to empower women. The
You'll
guys
talk
get
about
it.
swing.
Yeah, the guys get enough ink. Bring the girls on.
You'll talk Swin Cash.
Oh my goodness, she just retired too.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I brought her up.
Yeah.
One of your favorites.
Then it broke my heart because Ashley Battle moved out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, took a big time promotion. She's in the banking industry, and so I didn't even know she left. So it broke my heart.
You saw it on Facebook.
Well, I actually tried to get her to book her on the show
Wow.
about 6 months ago. She said she lives in another state now. She couldn't make it.
Wow.
So
Be a little late.
Broke my heart. Yeah, I didn't even know. I'm always the last to know. You know?
I don't know why. You find all these new women and athletes.
Yeah, that's
like
what
Jeanette last night.
Jeanette Smith, a professional bodybuilder in the figure.
Only been in it 2 years.
Only been in it 2 years, and she wants to go IFBB, that's like the UFC of bodybuilding. She's a professional, one of the lower.
And she trains and teaches people.
Yeah, and I talked to Mr. Mackey at the fights. He says she's a taskmaster when she comes to training.
She works out of his gym.
Yeah.
Which is legendary.
Yeah, but she was all smiles. She was honored to be part of the show. She rearranged her schedule to be part of it, and I'm glad we were able to get her up first. And she got the
she stayed the whole time.
and she can tell her grandkids that she was interviewed one time by Elle Levine, the talking machine.
You're too funny. Hey, where's that photo I sent you? I didn't see it posted anywhere.
It'll be posted tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll
There's
be
a
posted
delay.
tomorrow. Yeah, it's a little delay on that one.
I put her up in our standard photos there. We got a
see
ton
that.
of likes with great pics from last night.
Wow, I seen that.
And my
Even
daughter-
Skip shared it.
What's that?
Even Skip shared it.
He
yeah.
shares everything that I put up. Yeah, he's a good man. And another guy, William Sconsi, he does it too.
Oh yeah,
They share all
I
my
seen
stuff.
that name too. Yeah.
Yeah, I thank him all the time. It's nice. Casey even put up a photo of me interviewing Amante.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna have to.
You have to check it out.
I gotta go to your page and
I
see
think.
that one.
Yeah,
Okay, I
she
gotta
put
check
it
it
up,
out.
and she attached my name to it. I posted
Yeah.
up on the page.
All right, that's
So,
good. It
bunch
was
of
good
people were
seeing
there.
her and Andrew yesterday for real. And the Big Mouth Burger was excellent. Oh, was that good last night?
Yeah, I think they finally got it down pat.
Yeah.
They were struggling the last few
Yeah.
times. They had different chefs and cooks there, but they got it last night.
Some of the cooks is hard. They're used to cooking. They're used to putting hot sauce with everything. So
Yeah. It worked out. It was stacked up pretty good.
some of the ingredients they never heard of.
Yeah, well, they put them on there. They left that top lid off for you to see them all.
Yeah,
It
that's
didn't
good.
scare you. I saw you put that lid on the sandwich and chew it up.
That's it.
That was good stuff. No, it was nice. It's always nice being at Atria's PNC Park. We're honored to be there twice a month. Even during baseball season this month, we can't do twice because they'll have the home series there at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was going to surprise you. We almost had a guest, Dr. Lonnie Smith, was going to come
No
on
way.
last night. He just got too tired. He came in for a funeral. Matter of fact, I took him to the airport this morning at
That's
5
my
a.m.
man.
5 a.m. airport
Wow.
run.
Who gave him one of his
And,
best interviews?
you.
And never asked him about music.
Yeah.
Just asked about that cane that was a
That's
prop.
That's it.
He showed his basketball
That's
moves.
it.
Brought it right out of
Ain't
him.
that something?
Dr. Lonnie Smith, a great jazz pianist.
He said-
world renowned as a pianist. Just that famous.
He said to tell you hi, and he apologized for not being able to
Oh.
come to the show last night. I wanted to surprise you, but
I'm so disappointed.
But yeah, 5 o'clock came in, so he said he got up at 2 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
I was there to pick him up at 5 o'clock. Got a hug from Bella Lisa. That's
Of course.
always a plus. And also, on a sad note, I went to the wake yesterday of a friend of the show, Isha
Yeah.
Shepherd. So
Yeah,
sure.
that's a shame. She died suddenly
Suddenly.
this week.
Yeah, and so I was able to talk to her husband and her kids. Briefly, I was only there 2 minutes, in and out, but it was
Were you?
packed. Yeah, it was packed. It was football Sunday,
Yeah.
and I wanted to show my respect.
You're a
And,
good man, Smoking Jim.
Yeah.
And you took Dr. Lonnie to the
Yeah,
airport.
to the airport. I can't tell Bella Lisa no, and he gave me money. He gave me $20. I told him no.
Wow.
Told him no, and
You ate good.
but,
you ate good at the Eaton Park.
yeah, caught some traffic on the way back. Made it home, took a shower, and headed out to KDKA after watching some of the Steeler games. So I stay busy, and then I have an appointment in about 37 minutes tonight.
No way.
So it's about 50-minute drive. I got to be there in 30 minutes, but
We
do
won't
what
get
we
to
gotta do.
discuss much. We're discussing it right here on air. So hope you guys appreciate this conversational tone sports talk.
Hour went fast, didn't
Yeah, we covered it all. We just kept going here.
it? I'm used to commercials.
We got 2 minutes to go right now, Smoking Jim. You already told us everything about you.
Well, my last word will be I am so honored. I'm going to go see probably the greatest running back in Braddock High School history was John Gay II. He back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. His son, Hugie, John Gay III, was the greatest running back, greatest football player in Gateway history. And now I'm told that his son is maybe the best, better than his dad.
Get on.
And his son is John Gay IV. He plays a junior running back for Penn Trafford. So I'm going to go watch him play tomorrow night, Lord willing.
Wow.
I'm going out there. So
That's not tomorrow night.
Friday
Wednesday.
night.
You're not
Friday,
going
yeah,
Wednesday.
wow. Ooh, Friday night.
What's
What's
going on
it? Only
Wednesday?
Tuesday. Wow. I'd have been out there. I'd have been the only one sitting out there. Woo, he's good.
They wouldn't have even been there.
I lose track of days.
Smoking Jim, I'm glad I brought you down. We got 1 minute to go. Your last word might have been the end of
That's
it.
it.
I'm glad I could help you out that Friday's 3 days away.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
What about your Gateway seats? Where's Gateway playing at?
Well, Gateway's going to blow anybody out, but it's too bad. Westinghouse and Perry had to play with no fans because of the
Right.
shooting at the school, but Westinghouse blew them out.
Yeah, well, I think they didn't handle that right anyhow, but that's my own opinion with no fans and who knows what it's even about. There's shootings all the time, and it's a shame. We don't belittle that. It shouldn't be. Stop the violence. All lives matter, so it's just tough. But, well, there's your Gateway prediction. They'll blow anybody out, so we'll see this weekend what happens. They lost that one that didn't count. So.
Yeah, week 0. That don't
Okay,
count.
week 0 don't count. Well, we're done. Thanks, everybody, for watching the show, and I want you to stay Joey strong.